I did the math on it. It's 400 hours of work a week, which is about 10 times normal, I thought. So yeah, that was my most shocking insight from the discussion with Leo. But uh, but I think it's more of an urban legend, to be honest, because he couldn't tell me anybody who actually did that, right? So
Yeah, that's actually interesting until I think to myself that I work like almost every day and almost 24 hours of the time.
you do?
Yeah, because projects and all that, right?
Wow, wow. Okay, that's like me then. Yeah, I'm 919.
Yeah.
400.
Yeah.
Hey, you'll experience 10 times faster than everyone else. Okay. All right. Welcome in, Lilith. Okay, let's go ahead and kick this off. Go ahead.
Yep. So today I am the chair of the meeting, and Mr. Jing will be the secretary of the
I
this
will.
meeting. Thank
Yes.
you very much for coming. So we'll jump in right ahead to this Scrum meeting, and I will start with VD's list, which is start with U0. For this one, this update, it's this basically done. The initiative, the details can be. I've had two meetings in the past 2 days with Lilis and also the product development team. Basically, this initiative has been approved by the product development team and put into the consideration list, and this will be further developed by Aldo in terms of UI and also the development. So I will consider this initiative U0 done. The final workflow can also be observed in the evidences. Okay, so I'll move it to the done list. And next I have RMY0.1, which is deploying stats using the Flask backend. It's actually a split or a pivot initiative from the RMY0. I've also attached the trial attachment, also the goal. The due date is actually in a week, but I'm still measuring up because Flask is using Flask to summarize things. Flask is basically a method of light web development using Python as the framework. And if you look at the evidence, which is the Ngorok.io, it's basically you can run it right now. Both of you can run it. It's basically a web, so it's like web development, like product development, but yeah, stuff like that. It is directly hooked into my computer. It's acting as if my computer is the server. The authentication method has already been implemented, and the plan is to apply the chart using D3JS, basically. Okay, so that's the update for RMY01. If there are any questions regarding this initiative, yes.
Is D3JS data-driven documents?
Uh, I'm not sure about. Yes, it's data-driven document. Yeah, it's the
It's for
yeah.
visualizing.
Yes, correct.
Okay, got it. Got it. Okay. What I've always wanted to ask this, but I never had the opportunity. What was the difference between D3 and what Tableau does?
Oh, the difference is that using D3 and Chart.js is a JavaScript script. Basically, if you use Tableau, it's already one package that you subscribe for.
Right.
But using this, it's like you're developing your own Tableau. So you just
Oh,
need a server to host it,
okay.
and the limitations that occurs in Tableau, such as not being able to implement a Pythonic way of forecasting and other stuff, can be overcome because it's basically your own system.
Got it. Are you thinking of replacing Tableau with our own visualization system?
That's the first step is actually to imitate Tableau, but the end goal is the dashboard, right? That's why
Yeah.
we're trying to create our web
Of
application.
course. Okay. 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 I see it. Okay. All right. That's a component. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Up until this application actually surpass Tableau, we will still be using Tableau. But if this application can already surpass Tableau, then of course it's good because we don't have to pay for the subscription fee, but only pay for the hosting.
Okay. And what is Engra again? You said it's a.
Oh, and Grok, if you open the link, it's
I have.
basically like hosting a web server, but using my laptop as the server. So anybody, so it's used in pitching. For example, if I'm a startup and I want to pitch, I just create my web app, and other people can access the website that I'm developing local from remotely, basically.
Oh, crazy! So you don't need to set up like an AWS.
Yes, I don't have to rent a server, so I'm treating my laptop as a server. If you open the
That's,
link, you can see that it's the homepage, the index, login, and sign up, but it's not yet
all I see
pretty
is
fine.
BB stats, and
Yes, it's the login and register works, but the stats itself will be included in the next, because this is, of course, this is the frontier of a full stack data scientist. So it's one level above the ordinary analytics that we're usually
Got
doing.
it. Got it. Okay. All right. That sounds cool. All right. Okay. I'll
Yeah. So because the thing is, maybe just to add a little bit, being a data scientist, sometimes you just output data, but you can't really see it, right?
uh,
Like you output CSV and stuff like that. But a full stack data scientist also is involved in the visualization, also in the web development, and it's already another different subfields even in the academic world. Okay, so that's the update for RMY01. And for we will hop into Lilith's list for RMB7. Any update, Lilith?
Okay, thank you, Fidi. So for this initiative, actually, we already post like in the activities. It's six properties, but we only can make a deal for Billabong only. And actually, I haven't got update for the inquiries traffic from Nadine because I can't. I can't contact Nadine today. And maybe question for you, sir, because we are using your account, right? Your Facebook account. Do you have any concern regarding posting? Because we
okay.
plan to post it every day.
Sure. Sure. I'll give the same answer that I did for Rian, right? Who had something to do with LinkedIn. It really depends on what kind of posts, and it depends on the channel and the content. Okay. So I would say ideally, if you can post using the Bukit Vista profile, that would be the best way, right? Because then I wouldn't get so much noise on my dashboard. But in in actuality, I don't really care. I mean, I don't use Facebook that often anyway. Okay. It is okay to post as often as you want because I don't really use Facebook for anything besides keeping in touch with my friends. So there's no there's no loss on that. For LinkedIn is different. So I asked Rian not to post twice on LinkedIn using the same content twice, like because I already posted one. This was slightly different today. I posted something to recognize Rob, and then Rian posted something that was identical to a previous post, but he just swapped out the names for a person I recognized 5 days ago. So that has some branding consequences on me, right?
Yeah.
because because that looks just like lazy and stuff. So and not very professional. So that case is different. This case, I really don't care. It's a completely different channel. You can post as often as you want. Ideally, like I said, I think use the Book of Vista Facebook, and it's not because of anything else besides that Book of Vista as a Facebook account will start getting more engagement in the scope of property rental. So it's doing the brand some good. So that's the only difference. You can post as often as you want right now, but if you become better at social media management, figure out a way to optimize the post to come from the Book of Vista Facebook profile, because I think pages can join certain groups, right? So you can post from the page, and then if you can post from the page, then the page starts getting this branding as well. I don't need branding for Book of Vista. Everyone kind of already knows where I work, right? So that part's great. But the page could use some help. So only about that. Otherwise, you post as often as you want. Okay. So yeah. Oh,
Okay.
to give,
Uh,
So
yeah,
any more?
Lilith. Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, at first, I think that Bukit Vista has I don't know the difference between the Facebook page and also a Facebook profile. But when I asked Gani, I think Gani is the expert of the. I mean, in the company for the Facebook media. He suggests to you. Use your profile. So.
Sure.
Uh, that's my fault because I am assuming that Facebook page cannot join a group. So just like I
Right.
want to check it better again.
Gary's just getting started. Also, I think we're all beginners in this, right? So he knows what he knows. But from what I understand, if you can join with a page, you'll definitely get better branding than if you join with just yourself, right? And then the page, you don't really, yeah, you can post as often as you want. It doesn't really matter. Step one, just post. Don't worry about optimizing how you post, where you post from. Once you've done like a lot of these, then yeah, you can think about how to optimize the social media side. I don't really care if you use my thing. Do the revenue mission is more important than the social media mission at this point. So prioritize the revenue mission. But at some point, if it can be optimized, then yeah, might as well use the
Okay.
okay. Yeah,
So at this point, since Lilith has the liberty to choose between the two choices, for now, act on like try to decide on your own is fine since there is no consequence yet. And along the way, yes, of course, you can optimize after it's been implemented. So thank you very much, Liz and Mr. Jing. We'll go to the next task, which is proposal revision according to the current business model. And update, Liz.
Okay. So for this one, actually, I already done pairing with Wayana, but my question is regarding the 30% commission package. Actually, I already revised it since it's you said that it's a strategy where people can choose the middle one. So I tried to revise it by myself, and I haven't update to Wayana actually. The first at first the additional service that adds to the 30% package is market leadership, but the details on services it's is operational excellence. So it is like I define it into operational excellence service, and there consists of three additional services such as operational staff recruitment, training, and evaluation. So that's the update for that. And we also need a clarification from user regarding this sentence that I actually get from written about the statement, mission statement. So actually, based on what Wayana, that she's an expert in market building, right, and also pitching to the owner. So she kind of confused with regarding this content because we haven't experienced this, right, sir?
sure.
Yeah.
I'll comment on that right now. So the app benefits, what I see the white lady looking at the black man with a cappuccino in front of them, right? That is a vision. That is not what we have, and that is not what we sell at the moment. That is just a vision to get the company idea of where we want to go. That does not exist yet, so I don't think we should sell that yet.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So, so your advice is not putting the service that we haven't.
Yeah, don't put that. Unless the only case I can think of to put it is if you're pitching a person who knows it's a potential product, right? So you can create two pitch decks. One for a person that you actually want to partner with. One is like Gary. Wait, who came to Gary's discussion? Not yet, right? You guys didn't go. Okay. One is a person who knows that you're working on a potential product and you are just pitching to them as a way of saying, would you buy this if I created it? Does that make sense? So there's one pitch for like let's say Chapung we don't really want to work with, but okay, let's say we want to work with Chapung, right? We would give them pitch deck A. This is what all the services that we're selling you today. And then let's say, for example, there's a person building a hotel and it's not going to get done for 2 to 3 years from now. Then we can give them pitch deck B, which has this in it. And we ask, would this actually be good for you? This then can, and they say, yeah, well, I would love that. That would be fantastic. Then we say, oh, okay. Then we buy you that feedback. And we tell them, we found product market fit. We found 15 developers that are willing to pay 1% of their revenue to solve this problem. So build it, right? This would actually be really good. So that I want to be very, very clear about the nuance between the pitch deck that we send to a real partner and the pitch deck that we send to a hypothetical partner. Okay.
Okay, so it's case by case pitch then, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so it's basically to summarize it, it's a pitch tailored to different kinds of partner.
Yes. In
Okay.
this particular case, I believe, Mr. Chair, it says the card says the current business model.
Yes.
It's just
So focus on
ATAC.
that one first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just focus on the ATAC. Okay.
Yes. Correct. If there are any developments, actually, I think this can also be developed into an initiative because yeah.
So
If
actually, we want to do
we-
MVP, sir. Mr. Chair, I read it there also.
Okay.
We want to do MVP, so maybe I will
Yeah.
classify as initiative.
Yes, please create an initiative of that and please complete the details. We'll see that in the next Scrum. Any more updates, Liz?
That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that one. And we'll move to Mr. Jing's list for RMZ0. Any updates?
Yeah, thank you very much. So Z0 is it's moving along. We're getting a lot of traction this week. We've done well on LinkedIn. So we have Alex Sadiva this evening for discussion, and that's pretty much it. Next week we have Slawik, who was the person that Ritesh referred us to, who had done forecasting and pricing engines at Uber. Slawik seemed very happy to help out. So we have two hopefully really good discussions about revenue management and about forecasting and pricing engines with industry experts. So yeah, that part.
Okay, so I believe both of these events have been distributed. I mean, in terms of the invitation, Google Calendar distribution. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jeng. And also, we'll go to RMY1, which
Okay.
is dynamic pricing research.
Okay. So this sadly, I guess I won't have an intern. So I guess I'll just keep this card as a reference card now. So this goes into just a bucket of material that we'll find for dynamic pricing. As I
Okay.
don't see any comments on this right now.
Don't worry. I think there will be a discussion on it because I see that the paper is filled.
Okay, great, fantastic.
So we'll have a discussion after this Scrum.
Fantastic. Okay.
And thank you very much, Mr. Jing. And for Mo Wayan, is she there? Any updates?
Wyatt is not here actually. I don't know where she is.
Okay, so we'll try to open her card for RMB8, and I see that there's an update on bye-bye list for RMB8, which is blocking the Bell IO calendar until July 12th, and no updates prior to that, prior to the previous Scrum, post previous Scrum. For RMB9, we see that there's no update since the previous Scrum. Okay, I think that's it for Mawayan's card. Okay, then we're officially done with the Scrum meeting. Any final questions before we move on to Tableau?
Actually, maybe because we are in this page, just explain what our development regarding to track initiative really.
Sorry? Sorry. Yeah, I've added that into the discussion board actually.
Yeah, but I mean, we are in this page, so
Okay.
it's easier.
I think that's also a good idea. So, sir, so I've also added. I've discussed with Lilis and also Nadine. Actually, I think Nadine also brought this up in HRR last week. Did you know about the way to track initiatives? A proposed method on tracking initiatives.
No, I don't even.
Okay, so
Tell me more.
this is just a formulation, and we'll try to make RM an active participant in this one. Actually, it's discussed in. I've written it in the discussion management board. But if we look quickly, we can see in the primary initiatives now there are activities in the primary initiatives pertaining to each card produced as a secondary initiative. The basis of this idea creation is first it utilizes the existing format.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
You told me. Okay. Yeah. I've sensed this before. So you attach these
Yes,
initiative.
correct.
You attach the pivots onto the main initiative card.
Yes, also correct. And also the primary initiative, then we have a different secondary initiative. For example, we look at the primary initiative and we see that, okay, so initiative B is the most active in our chapter.
Because there's
And
10.
we see there are initiative B0 until initiative B9.
Okay.
And from there, we can track, for example, if I want to create a new card, I don't have to search for which be something that I have to write in the new initiative. That's one.
Excellent.
And the second one, we know how close we are to our
I get
primary initiative goal.
I get it completely. I think that's great.
Yes. So I think it's intuitive, and also it's built on an existing feature that we haven't utilized
Excellent.
optimally.
What I'm going to do to help you out, Vidi, for that is I'm going to make this part of a new cultural cycle. So
Yep.
I'll go. It's funny. I'm the cultural pollinator now, where I go around
Right.
creating new culture. So I'll make this an HR initiative now to go and teach all the other chapters to start using this.
Yeah, but I believe if we want to follow, I forgot his name again, the professional networking guy you actually talked about regarding setting the experiment sessions. You can try to implement this in, let's say, 2 chapters first, then see how well it is able to track initiatives compared to the other chapters.
Okay, good. Oh well, I guess. Okay, well then we'll watch this happen in our.
Yep, correct. So
Alright.
that's just a little bit about it. And So the mechanism will be discussed later in the RM discussion, but that's just so that we can visualize it right now. And now we'll move on to the VV Analytics. I'll start my screen recording and share the, wait, no, that's not it.
And that's nice. That's good. The booking pace is going up.
Yep. So, okay, so we look at the booking pace, but yesterday actually we only had two bookings.
That's terrible. Okay.
So it dropped significantly yesterday compared to 2 days before.
Is it because the Tableau server is not refreshing, or is it because there's
It's possible, but I believe today is 12th of June, so
Right.
I
Should be
suppose
up.
that it should be refreshed already, right?
Got it.
After,
Okay.
yeah. So another that's one insights that we have. We look at the booking pace, and of course, the monthly revenue is even more than April right now, and the current bookings is again it surpasses the bookings confirmed in the previous months for the month of June.
Very good.
So we're doing better in terms of in-month booking.
That is good, actually. Okay.
Yes. Any more insights on this page, particular page?
The weekly sales have gone way up. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
That's good. Okay. That looks
Yep.
positive. It looks, yeah, that looks like a positive signal. Okay.
Okay, so we'll move on to the squad revenue growth, and let's see in the next 3 months. Yeah, we're still seeing this pattern that July squad two areas has grown. It surpasses squad one properties, but if we look a little bit further, it drops again as per discussed 2 days ago in the month of September.
Got
So yes, and the peak of squad one properties is actually in October 2020.
Funny.
So I
I
guess
guess
yeah.
that's when people believe things are okay.
Yes, so this is somewhat like it allows us to be sure to predict where when people think things are going to be okay.
Maybe
Okay.
quick question. What's red? What's teal? What's blue?
Oh, so blue is squad one, orange is squad two,
Uh,
this is squad four, which is Nusa Penida, and this is squad three, which is Jogja.
okay. Panita's looking better now for some reason. Okay. All right. Interesting.
Oh yeah, yeah. We actually gone zero on Nusa Penida for 2 months, April and May, but I think there is a little revenue from Nusa Penida in the month of June.
Wait,
When
hold on a second. That can't be right, right? There was Nissa Potato was closed. How did we get any revenue at all in
Oh, for April and May, no, nothing. But for the
15,000?
month of June, yes. I
Maybe
think there was a
they're
booking on Mata
booked, sir.
Beach.
Oh, it was nothing, but it's drawing a line across.
Yes, correct.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so
I see it, I see it.
that's that, and let's look at some insights regarding the daily inquiries, if there are any. No, not this one. Let's see. Wait. Instant book rate still it's very low. It's still dropping.
Yeah.
There's no improvement in instant book rates. The cancellations. The cancellation drops,
Okay, that's good.
of course,
Good.
compared to the month of March, which is the peak.
Yep.
Um, booking window, nothing out of the ordinary. Smaller booking window is still most
Yeah.
preferred.
Yeah. Okay.
And group size distribution, same as the analysis before. There's not much change. There's no erratic change.
My God, no
So,
big groups in July and August. That's crazy. Yeah. Okay.
I think what we missed yesterday was the guess origin based on the percentage, because in Q2 we see that we're still on the red. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
we're still on the red for all of the guess origins,
Yep.
and Russia is no longer one of the big contributors.
Nope.
It's still in the top 10, but yeah, so it's still in the same market: US, Australia,
But the
and
fall is
UK.
pretty dramatic too, as well. Yeah.
Yep. The
Mm,
fall is dramatic for Russia. So remembering that we tried to predict that China will be the first to rebound, but we haven't. We're not. The data shows otherwise
Thank
for in the moment.
for investigating that. Good memory. Yeah. Yeah, good
Yes. So yeah. I
Wait,
think.
can we check that out for a moment? Let's see which can we sort according to least percentage change to highest percentage change.
Oh no, this the actually this is only sorted based on the numbers,
I see.
by
Okay,
the percentage change. Yeah.
got it. Which countries are the least affected? Okay, let's look for 50s. There's not
Hungary, we have more Hungary because it's close to nothing.
two persons.
Yeah. So yeah, most of them are still affected. The significant one at least.
All equally affected too, except
Yes.
for New Zealand. Okay. Yeah, New Zealand's 50% down. Okay, all right, cool. Thank you.
Cool. So that's that, and we'll try to look a little bit at the trackings.
I get the feeling your computer runs faster than anybody else's video.
The internet maybe. I don't know.
That's the thing, yeah. Hey, welcome to Nisha. Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Okay, so the in terms of IDR, we're still at 90 something ish. Yeah, 90 something ish, right? Is it no 9 billion? No, wait, what's that?
900 million.
900 million, right? Yeah, we're still at 900 million ish. So there's not much change
Okay.
compared to before. And let's see our inquiries because usually the USD will have a similar graph to the IDR. For inquiry pace, actually we see an increase. There is an increase of inquiries
Okay.
to the month of June, but it's not significant. We can see that there's a peak here in the month of June, in the 6th of June.
Okay.
And the most popular property, based on, let's try to zoom out a little, shorten the span a little bit because for the month of June, the most, I think it doesn't show because the data is too small. Let's see from the month of May. Okay, roughly Villa Capung is still the most inquired, followed by Rumah Taman Kutu. But I think for Rumah Taman Kutu and Mi Villa and also Padang-Padang, it shows, right? Because there are some bookings. Kembang Kuning has some, but it's only like two inquiries. Yeah, not much that we can see here. And the area and also the popular type of inquiry is still villas in the moment. For bookings, if we see until, let's say, if we believe that around October people are more optimistic, we see from the end of May to the end of October, guest house is more than 60%. And I think, Lilis, you did some analysis on this, I believe.
Um, so for the booking, I haven't
Yeah.
done actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, basically I've passed some data to Lilis. Maybe Lilis can look like more thoroughly on that. So yeah, the popularity in area is still distributed between Canggu and Uluwatu, and also Bingin 14%. And these are the popular properties based on the bookings. So yeah, no particular highlights on that one. Okay, so anyone has any other thoughts regarding the stats?
No.
Okay, so we'll go to the discussion right now. Okay, Chrome tabs, discussion. Okay, so we have a lot of discussion actually. Do you want to start from where we left off from Mr. Jing regarding the dynamic pricing model? I think we also haven't discussed that one.
Just a little bit. I think it was just about opening up the idea to look at different models and different structures to set up dynamic pricing, and it was just initiated from the enthusiasm I felt after talking to Ritesh. So I saw that after opening up the Uber blog, there we normally go about using professional networking to sort of find the answers, but I could see that the Uber engineering team had written extensively about how they actually do their work, which
Yes.
I thought was pretty amazing considering that that seems usually like a secret formula type thing. So I was thinking, yeah, okay, there it is. Yeah, there's all the stuff, right? So all the information and stuff. somebody posted there already. So okay, yeah, that's it.
Yep. So I think I agree with you, sir. That's why if you notice, I don't like I'm very selective regarding the people I want to network with because I think most of the stuff are written. That's why my questions are pretty specific, like the questions that I ask
That-
Ratesh and yeah.
okay,
So only those stuff that I cannot find. So yeah, but it's true. There are a lot of resources. As you can see, Lilis also added some resource on top of it regarding dynamic pricing and airline industry. Lilis, which you want to share about this?
Actually, I think of we are a property management company, so maybe it's most likely our pricing most likely with airlines company actually. I mean, uh, yeah. Why is that? Because yeah, that's my thought. Because actually we can copy the dynamic pricing they did, like considering the people that book from the advanced dates, we can give discount and something else. Then that video, actually it's not really a formal video, but it gives me some insights. And
Okay.
maybe
Mhm.
if you and also Mr. Jing have thought or agree with this, I would like to find like another people that working on airlines company to network with.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea because yeah, I kind of agree that the pricing dynamics that we have in tourism industry is pretty much aligned with the pricing for airlines. But um, do you notice that a lot of airlines, the pricing from airlines are quite predictable? It's not as what do you think, sir? Like, do you think it's more stable or it's more erratic for airlines?
I feel like airlines for me in Indonesia domestic flights are like bus tickets. They're very, I don't know. I don't see them like to fly to Jogja. I usually fly for business, so I'm exactly I book like the day before, right? Um, but it is usually within the same. No, actually, no, not percentage wise. Sorry, percentage wise is quite a lot of swing. Um,
But the price are very similar to each other, right? Like for peak season, it's usually this amount, a set amount like that. If it makes sense.
you know what? I usually just book the cheapest ticket at a time that leaves like I'm generally able to find if I'm flexible about my time. I'm generally able to find a ticket for around 45,000, right? Some people get even less. Um, so I feel like it's a very reliable market in the sense that I'm not going to all of a sudden pay more than I expected. I've never, with the very few exceptions, I've ever paid more than I expected. But but I'm not entirely sure either. I do agree with Lilith.
Yep.
I think Lilith is right. It's a little bit reversed though. Like well, not exactly reversed. Business traveler. We don't get very many business travelers coming to Bali, but I think the logic for let's say a property is somewhat in terms of business and leisure or in terms of urgency is reversed. So meaning that people who book last minute for leisure should get cheaper fares for a villa because there's no yeah I don't know
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But flight tickets for last minute are more expensive, right? For some
yeah
reason.
yeah so
Yeah.
that I
What
think
is
it's
that?
opposite. So if you book in advance, you generally pay more because you are planning something. Whereas when you book last minute, you're sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel anyways. Um, and it's because there's one dimension that's slightly different. So it's not exactly, yeah, it's not exactly the same, Lewis, because of this. So the length of stay changes the dimension, right?
Oh yeah.
So it, on a plane ticket, every plane ticket has the same length of stay. But what if, let's say that we're different? What if you want? No, nobody desires to be on a plane longer than they need to, but unless it's a first class ticket. But okay, but the length of stay really changes things because length of stay comes into the desirability of a certain accommodation, right? Whereas, like, how would I say this? You have less choice on the length of stay the more last minute you book, right? So therefore, the value of your holiday kind of goes down because you now need to adjust your length of stay to whatever is available in the marketplace. Whereas on a plane ticket, it's still the same product, even at the very last minute. The product does not degrade over time. Yeah. Whereas a villa, the product degrades severely after time because it's kind of like a carcass, right? The first person who eats the carcass gets what they want to eat, and then after everybody's eaten it, then the leftovers and the bones go to the vultures, right? And then the very last bit goes to like the ants. So there is this decaying value that happens, I think, in a villa that does not happen necessarily in a plane ticket. So that makes it a little bit different. But the plane ticket is also more urgent. Let's just say most plane tickets are run by people with good business sense, right? So they understand the cost of running a plane empty. It's the same idea when you apply it to a villa, right? A villa that runs empty is still costing the owner an amount of money every day. They just might not be perceiving that as readily as a person who's fueling a jet and paying pilots to fly the jet, right? So the logic is the same, but the understanding of the logic is far more evident, I think, in the airline industry than in the hospitality industry, by sure. Um, yeah, you feel the money going into the jet, into the fuel, into the pilot's salary, whereas you might not feel the money going into paying for or amortization, right? Which is kind of an abstract concept. So, so there are some things that are similar that are even more urgent, but there are some things that I think are slightly different too.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome, Nitya. So we have a guest. Is this shadowing session, sir? With you?
Yeah, yeah. This is Ishan.
Okay.
He's shadowing
Right.
me today. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. So I think there are 2 points from the what this thing distinguishes airlines and properties, right?
Mhm.
So airlines has become a commodity first. Uh, Properties, it's substitutable easily because there are a lot of supply but limited demand. While airlines, it's constricted. The supply is constricted by government policies and stuff like that. Even the price of airline
Gross.
tickets are governed by the Minister of what do you call it, transportation.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so if
Far
they
more
reach a certain
regulations.
cap, they will try, the government can reprimand them to like bring it down.
Right.
So that kind of factor actually influenced, but generally regarding peak season and so whatnot, I think it's like the concept of big wave. The big wave is follows, but these regarding the small waves, it's
Very
very,
good. Yeah, it's a big signal correlation. But
yeah, the big signal, correct.
yeah, yeah, big signal correlation, small signal. Okay, very good. Very good way to see
Yeah,
it.
but really good analysis. I think it will be interesting to be able to talk with someone who deals with the pricing with of plane tickets, right? Or if they have done it automatically right now.
Mr. Chair, I like this idea of. Let me ask Lilith what she means. Lilith, what did you understand about filling rate?
Filling rate, it means like within, for example, within 1 week, how many bookings happen.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Like that.
That's the same. That's where I got the idea of fill rate from. Actually,
Yeah.
for room nights, how many room nights are being consumed, being purchased a week?
Mm.
Because ultimately, I think the way to visualize it is a container, right? Like a physics problem. So you have a
Yep.
container and it empties every week, right? Because time expires. So how full can you get the container before it empties again and a new week begins? So that's why fill rate is pretty. Yeah, and I think I got that from the airline industry. So
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Certainly, there are a lot of congruence in terms in the airline industry and the
Fluid.
property management industry. So
Okay.
yeah, thank you, Liz. If you can find that, it would be really great to talk with one of the people involved with that. And also, this one is pretty much also the same for prices flights. We can look at the resources after the Scrum, or if someone has already read the Scrum, read this resource. And also, I've also added the urgency of machine learning data in terms of machine learning. So what point that I want to point out is, are we ready in terms of the data infrastructure? And so yeah, this is one of the, like Ratesh also mentioned that 90% of machine learning is preparation of data, processing, whatever, what's so not. And yeah, are we ready, like in terms of data?
Oh wow, that's a deep discussion.
Yeah, because like I've mentioned before, I think that's why I dealt with a lot of data issues.
Okay, that's a good question. Is that question to me?
Oh, on your perspective, based on your perspective, sir, as a CEO, like, what do you think?
I would need specialized knowledge to understand it because I have been under the assumption that our data quality was of good quality, but from what I'm hearing now through the discovery process, I understand that is not great quality. But then I guess in terms of a business mindset, I would ask this question: um, if we were to get this to work, would it give us? See,
More profit.
every problem in business is an advantage, right?
Yep.
Every problem in business is one more obstacle that would stop somebody less motivated and block them. So when I see an obstacle, sometimes I wonder, okay, is it likely that we can get past this obstacle and it would be a green field of bounty after we cross that? Or is it going to be like, is it going to drain our resources so much that even if we do win, it would not be worthwhile? Um, in my mind, there's only going to be, it's sort of like this video. I see the data input will only increase as we get more successful,
Yep.
right? So like Uber, if Uber did not have machine learning, then or like Gojek didn't have machine learning, then all their transactions, like Indomie doesn't have machine learning, so they're not learning a goddamn thing about anything, right? About the market, about anything. Now, Indomie might have enough business moats around it to protect its business from any competitor at this point, right? Data or no data wise, they might have control on wheat stocks, or they have connections in the government that protect their monopoly on the instant noodle business. I don't know. But I would assume that if you could cross the data boundary, that would be a very good moat for your business. It would be essentially something that most people couldn't do, right? And if they don't do it, then they're not going to learn fast enough. So, but for me,
But I think Indomie uses machine learning in other fields, sir,
I have
in
no
their
idea.
yeah,
Okay.
in their manufacturing, I think, stuff like that.
Okay, I've underestimated Indomie then. But I, okay, for me to answer this question better, I would need to know sort of like I have mosquitoes in my head. I would need to know what. All right. So let's ask ourselves this question: if we were managing 1,000 properties, right? Ah, sorry, mosquitoes are annoying. If we were managing 1,000 properties, how likely would we be able to maintain a quality of service on the pricing and revenue forecast side
Right.
using a method less than data science?
Liz, what do you think, Liz? I think we would die if only the both of us like set price on the.
Even if we could hire 10 of you guys, right?
Yeah,
Would we want to do that?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, would we be able to retain you for 10 years doing that? Or yeah, let's go to Lewis.
Yeah, that's what you say.
uh yeah, I mean, doing pricing on Tookit is very like time consuming, and yeah, I mean, if we can do it like a faster way, or perhaps automatically, it's good, and I think we can do it. But as my next question, what things that we aren't ready? Is it the conceptual skills or technical skills? Yeah, maybe technical skills is only on VD, for example. Like maybe can start first by conceptualizing the conceptual skills, and then we can go forward step by steps, so we can know what to do next.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah, that's actually usually a product manager would do that, perhaps. But yeah, okay, good analysis. So yeah, okay. I think there are no more discussion regarding this. It's too far fetched. I think it's too
Let's
broad.
it's a good topic, Vinny. It's a good topic because we need to decide where to invest, right?
Yep.
So I would ask this question: how far are we from having clean data quality, or data quality that is sufficient for machine learning to happen?
For example, one example that I think you guys face, like regarding the country origin just now.
Yeah,
If you scroll down, there are a lot of data with like CN, which is not in the same category as China, for example,
right.
and stuff like that. So that kind of thing. And if you look at the database, there are a lot of empty tables, empty cells.
You see,
Yeah.
how
So hmm.
how is there a way to optimize, let's say, certain, like I know we don't have a perfect, let's say, data quality, but do we can we hack off some parts that we don't need? And
Yeah, that's why I think it's gonna be my initiative next week.
okay,
I spoke to Kabayo about this, redesigning the database.
okay.
Yeah.
Because here's what it comes down to, Vidi and Lilith. I'm trying to imagine what the weakest part of the critical path is, right? So let's say we are scaling up, and let's say we have 1,000 properties, or let's say we just get the 180 properties back, but within like a year or 2 years time we double, which is pretty likely, right?
Yeah, pretty likely. That's very likely.
Okay, so we have 300 properties. All right, how many patrols are we going to execute per property per week? Probably three or four, maybe five, right? Maybe let's say three or four. Okay, three or four times
Listings.
50. Yeah, yeah, and then the listings, right? Let's say there's one listing. Let's say conservatively. So three times a week, 50 times a year. That's 150 times on one property. Then multiply that by 300. So that's 500,000 patrols over the course of a year.
Right. So just now I give the data to the list. We have 159 properties, 156, and actually we have 1,200 listings,
There
active
you
listings.
go. There. Okay. There you go. There
So
you go.
yeah,
So it is almost untenable to imagine how we would do
yeah, right.
manually at this point. Of course, not all the listings produce, of course. So then we again 80/20. We look at 20% that probably do 80% of the work, and we focus on those. So that's our first hack. But like if we really want to scale up doing this, I just don't know how we could do it manually.
Yeah,
I don't know how we could hire people just to do this every. It's quite a long time to train, and the training takes a very long time to train somebody to do it, and then it's not cumulative. You know what I'm saying? It needs where the knowledge to do this needs to be accumulated into sort of a single consciousness rather than multiple consciousnesses. So that's why I sort of leaned on machine learning as being the best method possible for.
yeah. I think Icha is a has a degree in information system information.
Yeah,
Right?
Misha, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you have any comments on this? Are you've been under shadowing for like a week, I think? No, 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
have any comments on this, Icha?
Uh, the what data
Oh,
we talk.
so basically, Isha, from what I know, you're doing front end, right? But do you
Yeah,
also
yeah,
deal with data and machine learning? Have you had an
yeah.
experience on that?
Well, for the machine learning, I actually don't have much knowledge about it, but um, for what is it, mengelola
Oh,
uh,
processing,
yeah, to what's mengelola? Sorry.
processing data.
Yeah, processing the data. Maybe we can build the web that can build the dashboard about the data.
Oh, we have the dashboard, but the problem is,
Yeah.
I think, the quality of the data, Icha.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't have any knowledge or thought about this. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. No worries, no worries, no worries. But don't be afraid to pitch in ideas if you see any improvements that could be done in the
Yeah.
IT, especially in RM, right? No
Yeah.
worries. Thank you, Ija.
Oh, video, video.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Sorry. So we'll go back to the idea board, and the next discussion will be on Lilith. Oh yeah, this one is already discussed, right? Revenue manager from airline industry.
Oh,
Unless you're muted.
manager at airline industry.
Yeah, yeah. That's the previous discussion, right?
Sure.
Okay,
I think
sorry for taking
I
it.
can look
Yeah,
for that for you. I can look for what I've noticed also, Lilith, with traditional industries, it's airlines sometimes is a little bit like hotel. So if they have a revenue management system, it might be an older system. It might be like kind of like a pre machine learning understanding of the world. It's just the way that they are, right? Because when the CEO of the airline goes, now who's going to solve my problem? They're going to probably ask like somebody who's familiar but with older concepts. They don't see across the disruption barrier. But I'll look for somebody. Yeah, I can reach out. I can go like I think at a certain point we wanted to reach out to somebody from Air Asia with that kind of experience. So I'll see if I
Mm.
can find somebody. And they just had layoffs too, actually. So okay, that could be a good time.
Yep. Okay. Thank you very much for that, sir. We'll be waiting for the invitation,
Okay.
and of course, we will try to find it ourselves if we have.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Next for Liz, this also the thing that you discussed before. Any
Yeah, yeah. It was
elaboration?
discussed before, but yeah. Do you have any more comments on this? Because actually, that's my question.
Um, yeah, I guess we need technical skills.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Yeah.
But
There.
I mean, when we want to create something, right? Maybe we need to start by the conceptual one first. It's like we can define what technical skills that we need.
Okay. Yeah. I guess for the conceptual one, actually, if like if I have a team right now, I think a team with technical skills, I think I can assign them to task already. So the conceptual part will be needed during the improvement process, not the establishment process. But we have one incoming intern, sir, onboarding intern.
Okay.
I'll interview him soon. I think it's from He's from NTU,
Okay.
and he has some C++ and Python skills, I
Okay.
guess. But he's from electrical engineering, dealing with aerodynamics, I think.
Okay. Hopefully,
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah.
can be useful. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. My thoughts, if I may.
Yep.
I'll,
Of course.
I'll sort of technical skills. This is what I understand, right? I understand Vidi could do it. Essentially, get the pricing API done through Tokit, right? Like we were talking about, if we were going to.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so the technical capability would be there, and even if, let's say, I think, I think we have two conceptual pathways. The first conceptual pathway is we just create an algorithm for what we do manually now, right? So we look at booking pace, we look at this, we assign a score to it, and we make an adjustment based on like what we normally did during the revenue patrol.
Yeah, but you create a program for it, a script
Yeah,
for it, right?
you create
Yeah.
a program for it. So if then this, so you can create an algorithmic approach to it. Maybe it wouldn't be a bad first MVP even. So we just take our thought process and we just write a program to automate that thought process. So that's say like the middle solution. The high solution is, yeah, if you can actually have the machine figure out what the thought process should be, like an RNN.
Yeah, so maybe I would like to correct myself there a little bit. So it's not technical skills, but technical resource.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Got it.
in terms of the
If
time
if we
and
if we really wanted to push that, I could find the money to push that, right? If that's something that you can just say, hey, look, this is here, add money or add talent.
not the money, sir, the time.
Oh no, but it's a resource, right? It's really just hiring people.
Oh yeah. Hiring new
Hiring
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's also good.
yeah, a lot of problems are solved by money, believe it or
Yeah,
not.
a lot of problems
So
have my money.
it's how startups work. But if the plan is clear and it's just, let's say, the resource about getting the number of work hours done to execute it, that part is easier. We can find resources, let's say, to get that done. The the bridge right now is two things. Do we have a framework for how we want to get this done, like the middle road and the high road, right? NVIDIA's working on the high road right now with
Yeah.
neural networks, right? But the stumbling block, I guess, is what I'm hearing is the data quality itself is a huge step
Yeah.
before even to get to that step. So
Right.
it to me that requires maybe another bridge, right? Again, so what is it that we want to work on the data quality at this point, and what is it that if the data quality were perfect, what we would expect to see? Um, so on that one, I guess it's another business decision then we have to make. We need to see some options, meaning like, okay, we have a certain number of resources right now. What could we actually produce at this point to the worst case, I think, right now, as you know, is the case of having to do everything manually, right? That means we're not learning, we're not scaling, we're not
Yeah.
sort of we're not applying our minds in the best way possible, right? So the manual way is necessary, but it's a debt. It's a sort of a it's a
Yeah.
sort
It's a technical debt. Yeah.
of yeah. The middle way, I think, my understanding is an algorithmic way, right? We program a computer to look at things the way we see it, and then it starts making the adjustments based on what we see and what we know. The
Yep.
high road is where you use artificial intelligence to see it. And I think each one has different costs in terms of not just money, but resources, time, energy, skills, and also knowledge too as well. So I guess, yeah, that's what we, that's my framework. What do you guys think? Is there anything else to add to
Okay.
that?
Yeah. So maybe to Lilis, what do you think, Lilis?
Uh, why I'm asking this question because um, from my side, I think of when we want to build something like yeah the IE for the dynamic pricing, we should have our own. I mean our own path first. I mean like maybe like what you explained just now, sir. It's like a framework what to start first and then next and then next. So it's just like but maybe from various sides, we train the what's that? The models, right? So it's just like maybe we have to have the same framework.
Yeah. So in my case, it's like, okay. So I have a framework of A, B, C, right?
Yeah.
So, but then when I get to A, I realized that A needs there's an intermediary step between A to B. So that's another like A1. Then from after I'm done with A1, okay, let's go to B now. Can we do B already? Apparently, we need A2, something like that. So I keep figuring out things that should be done before reaching step B. But ABC is already like clear, and like any other non-academic research, there are always unexpected things happening, right?
I agree.
With their real life data, right? Stuff like that. See.
Lillis, I think you've urged the correct action though. Like the
Yeah.
idea of a roadmap. We need to have a roadmap to what this is going to look like. What is it that, where are we today? How do we know we're getting closer to the end? And what is the end goal? And if it is a roadmap and we need to take a detour, we need to know, I think, we've taken a detour. And how long will this detour get before we can get back on track? Um, I had an assumption at the very beginning of this whole crisis that things would take about 18 months to finally get better. I think that's still accurate. I think it's probably going to take a while before, let's say, things start appearing the right way. And I know we all want to be busy and put time and energy on immediate things we can fix, right? And I think it's really good. I think you guys can produce immediate benefit. Video with, like, say, the HR, and then the Lilith with the Facebook discovery. These things are all really good. But I'm also wondering if it's removing focus from, like, say, the long term mission too as well. Or maybe it's okay. We can balance between sometimes doing the short term gain and the long term benefit. So
Okay.
that part is cool. But I do believe that we should have a roadmap. What is it that which pathway are we on? Right? Are we taking the middle path? Are we taking? I believe we're taking the high path right now.
Yeah. If we see on the if you look at our Scrum board, we
Uh,
have initiative Y, right?
yeah.
Yep.
So that's the end goal. And the pathway is like we've described today. We attach the activities to the pathway.
Yeah.
And if we can see here, we still only have four initiative, which is two of private secondary initiative and two private.
I get it. I get
That's the
it.
use of the method, sir. So
Okay.
we can see the end goal and
Okay.
also our step to it.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, that's good, really. But what I mean is, as what I said before, we need. I mean, from myself, maybe for example, you are the champion of this mission, right? And then I need to know what is the first until the end activities that we should done. For example, like kind of I can find a way where I can help. Just I mean, yeah, you can tell,
Okay.
right?
Right, right, right,
I see
right.
that. I see that too, Vidi. So
Yeah.
I echo. I thank you for clarifying also on the initiative card because I see it now as kind of a roadmap. But this is a roadmap where there's a starting point and there's a few of the past stops that we had, but we can't really see what happens between now and the end, right? And
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Of
and
course, of course.
and I fully appreciate also that sometimes we're in a process of discovery and we don't know what might happen between now and the end. But I think what we're doing right now with the dynamic pricing research is to try to fill that roadmap in, to
Mm.
try to see what are the stages in the middle between now and the end that we would expect to come across. And I think that's also the professional mentoring too as well. Do you, Vidi, know what steps are now between now and the end? Can you?
Yeah. So
Oh wow!
basically, the process is there's five like the four steps to general machine learning process, right?
Okay.
First, acquisition, data acquisition,
Okay.
pre-processing,
Okay.
model training,
Right.
evaluation, and testing. So five, yeah,
Okay. Got it.
implementation. So this is the general five major stuff that goes through every machine learning process.
Got it.
But then during each of this process is tailored to each problems.
Yes.
And the thing is that sometimes in real life case, the problems pop up suddenly.
Understood. Understood. Okay.
Yeah, but generally it's always this five. Yeah, data acquisition, pre-processing, model training, evaluation, and implement final testing, like
What stage are we in right now?
pre-processing.
I see. Okay. Data quality. Yeah. Is
Yeah.
is there a possibility to MVP this where could you find a segment of the data that's the cleanest and start training the model to start doing cool things?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do in BV3
Okay.
with warisan data, but I don't know because of the transition and all that stuff, it becomes mingled. But yeah, of course, sure, I can do it.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
So in this particular regard, I guess Lilith, is it can you anticipate or see what's up ahead that Vidi might need help with from what
Actually, the video always ask me to learn Python.
that's why. Okay, all right. Another set of hands, yeah, in the pipeline. Okay, um, got it, got it. Okay, so I can understand that a little bit better now, Vidi, from your perspective. But and these are blocking steps, right?
Oh, yeah, but if you want to see the more specific steps, actually, it's in the repository.
Okay.
There are functions like converting the data into per days, converting to USDs, and all that kind of stuff. It's the function that have been made, and it's an attempt to solve that pre-processing step.
I see.
And for example, like we don't have bookings every day, right? But data should be time series.
Got it.
And data should be filled. The gap should be filled. So there's already a function for that to fill in the gaps and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's not an initiative per se,
Yes.
right?
Okay, got it. I understand. I understand. It's a
Yeah,
supporting
so
initiative.
like, it's quite difficult to express the implementation process in
Mm.
non-specific technical environment, I guess.
Got it. Okay. So, but to be really well resourced, we should expect more of these even after pre-processing, right? Would you expect to encounter more challenges in the modeling phase or the training phase or the other phases, or would those stages go really quickly?
Actually, the training phase and also the evaluation phase, there are already sets of algorithms, it's like established algorithms to perform like to process, right? But for pre-processing, it's mostly unexpected because the nature of the data itself. But for the training process
Uh-huh.
and the evaluation and what technique to use, like genetic algorithm to
Right.
optimize or fine-tune a
Okay,
model,
got it, got
it's
it.
already established.
Okay, so this is a blocking step basically. After
Yeah,
this,
just like what Ratesh said, it's more like 90% of data and all the stuff, 10% of training the model.
crazy. I totally thought it would be something else. Okay, that's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, okay. So hey, that's to the interns. 90%
yeah,
of machine learning is processing and making sure your data is ready. It's like baking, isn't it? Right? 90% of the work is like making the dough.
making the dough. Yeah,
Yeah,
correct. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree.
And then the baking part is actually pretty fast. Interesting. Now, what's your limitation at this point, Vidi?
Because I am also doing other stuff.
So
Like,
it's time and energy problem, right?
yeah. I guess it's time and energy.
Okay, got
And
it.
also sometimes it's more of the data. The data is not there, so we have to collect it, right?
Got it. All right.
For example, like the
So
Airbnb amenities and all stuff. We have to collect it.
got it. Let's work on your resources then. So what kind of resource would you need?
At this point, it's very difficult to say, sir. It's something like, oh, I need this, I do it immediately.
I see.
I go to HR or community and find the
Do
information
you
it
need
would be
people?
possible.
Do you need some people?
Oh, if there are more people, it would be nice.
Okay, good, good. Okay, thank you for. And would this person need a certain skill or knowledge, or is anybody who has a pulse and 10 fingers work for you?
If at least machine learning,
Okay, so they would have to come from a machine
Python,
learning background.
yeah,
Okay, let me see if I can find one somebody like that for you. I'll put that
yeah.
on.
But and that's why I was saying we have an onboarding intern
Uh-huh.
with the specific skill, and I'm gonna try this out with like whether I can assign
Okay,
task or initiatives.
no worries,
And
no worries. We have
yeah.
we have these things called ads, right? And hopefully the ad will bring some more attention to this.
Yeah. And also, I think my juniors in UGM, yesterday they chatted me and they're interested in machine learning intern and stuff
Hey,
like that.
bring them in, bring them in. Are they the same
So,
guys as last time, or new guys?
oh no, it's a 2019 batch, so
Okay.
pretty new, but at least they can do Python. Icha, can you do Python?
Each
I
of
only can do Python, but I haven't used it with the data. I just use it for simple programming.
Oh, algorithm and data structure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. All right, I get it. I get it. Okay, so you need people basically, right? That's
Yeah. Because we also want to focus on a lot of like we want to focus on one thing, but sometimes there are a lot of urgency, right?
understood.
In
Understood.
animation,
Okay, would you rather have yourself focus on the thing, or would you rather work on the urgent things, or would you rather work on the long term thing?
uh, I think now it's already in a better pace, sir,
Okay.
compared to like 2 months ago.
Oh,
2 months, like April and May. April is great.
okay, here's my idea because I have to decide what kind of person to target to add to.
Oh yeah.
So, am I going to add somebody that takes care of the things that are urgent for you, or should I add somebody to help you with the things that are important but not urgent?
The coding stuff, sir.
So that's important but not urgent.
Yeah, important but not
Got
urgent.
it. Got
Because
it.
delegation, right?
Okay, delegation.
Yeah.
Important and not urgent. Yeah. Wait. No. Wait. Yeah. Yeah. What? Yes. That's right. Wow. That's very good.
Yeah.
I got stumped there.
Yeah, I need delegation, right?
Okay. Delegation important and not urgent. Okay. No, important not urgent is schedule, sir.
What? Important but okay, but urgent but not important.
Urgent.
Oh yeah, okay. Schedule then I
Urgent.
have to schedule, but we want to do it parallel, right? In parallel.
Okay. All right. Just tell me what you need. Think about it. Think about it. Tell me what you need. I'm in charge of adding people to this company, right? So
Yeah, maybe just interns with coding capabilities, especially in Python and machine learning.
okay, got it. Interns with coding capabilities, especially in machine learning. Okay, great. This is great. You know what? Okay, here's where I think there's an opportunity for you, sir. All around the world, people are looking for remote internships. We're one of the few companies that offer it. So all around the world, there are people looking for what we have to offer. They're looking for big, nasty, challenging problems, right? So
Right.
that gets like kind of like the best talent interested in this type of stuff. If we're doing some small, like wiener type thing, then nobody would care, right? But if you have something that's really challenging, maybe we'll go to MIT and see if they have any people who need a remote internship, right? See
Yeah.
see if that works. It's all possible. It's a completely different environment for internships at this moment. So I'll look around, and if I can find, I'll ask Kiki to start canvassing MIT to see if
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday you said that Kiki is trying to reach out to computer science ITB.
yeah, at
Yeah,
UVA and also at UI and all over the place. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
get
If
this.
you could get them, it's good.
Okay, all right. I get it.
Yeah.
I get what you need, and that's so that you can clean up the data faster, right?
Yeah. So yeah, basically it's based on submodules, right? But usually, if I have a team, usually I kind of like separate the each task so people can do it. So,
And you've done this before. You
uh,
speak about it in a way that implies experience.
oh yeah, I've been I'm a lead engineer like for 3 projects already.
Okay, all right, great. Okay, this should be easy then. All right, so that's what I'm going to tell people. Yeah, so
No, no, no. I'm not a senior lead, but it's just happened to be that I am the lead engineer. I don't know why, but yeah, okay. So yeah, that's the discussion for that one. So we'll go to the next discussion, which is initiative we haven't worked on.
Yeah. Actually, we cover almost because we think we should go to the dynamic pricing.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah. Okay,
You're
so if
over
this,
time, Mr. Chair.
oh yeah, sorry, we overtime. Sorry. Okay, I think the other discussion has already been discussed too. Maybe any final thoughts from Mr. Jing, Mr. Jing?
I'm cool. I'm cool. Thank you. We've gone over time. Yeah, so
Right, Lilith?
Uh, no, all good.
Including the chair, yeah, overtime, right?
It's okay. We got really engrossed in the discussion, like we always do. We got really.
Yeah, we always do like that. Okay, Icha, maybe? No? Okay, thank you for coming. And
Oh,
also,
yes,
Vivia?
Vivia. Oh, yeah.
Nothing?
Vivia, do you have any comments?
Did I get any scrum? Because the last time I joined this meeting, there is nobody.
Oh, I think yesterday we don't have any meetings.
Oh, yeah, we have Scrum only on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
3 times a week.
I mean, an hour ago. An hour ago.
Oh, we are here an hour ago.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
Okay, let's skip over that.
Okay, thank you very much. Sir, about the commenting on others' cards.
Commenting on other cards. No, this. I think you guys are already there. I think you guys are already there. So what I'm doing across other chapters is I'm in a process of giving feedback. Everybody gives feedback for each other, right?
Right.
And that eventually evolves into everybody giving feedback on each other's cards. But you guys are already doing that, so you're already like 2 stages ahead in terms of that method. So that doesn't apply here. So okay, wait, have you joined me on other sync ups?
Yeah,
Other
yeah,
sync ups, you see the leaders give feedback for everybody, and everybody gives feedback for the leaders.
yeah.
You guys are doing that already, so don't worry about
Okay.
that. That part is already fluent.
Right. So, but again, the meeting notes. You have the meeting notes, right, sir?
Oh yes, sir. I have the meeting notes. Thank you. So
Right.
I'm going to review the meeting notes for everybody
The meeting notes.
here, just to conclude. So thank you very much for the opportunity. What I have is, okay, on Vidi side, the U.0 is done by product development. That has been approved by Aldo, and he will work on the UI. So that part is done. I took some notes about what Flask and Grok was, and also your journey to become a full stack data scientist with web development and data visualization and D3JS. On Lilith, we got the report. No report back from Dean about the new set of inquiries on Facebook. We discussed about posting frequency on Facebook, and you can post as often as you like, Lilith. And when you're ready to evolve to add the Bukit Vista Facebook page, whenever you're ready, you can use that as a evolution on social media management. On the pitch deck, We need to remove the hospitality hiring marketplace from the deck. That does not apply to this particular version. And if you want, you can create a separate card with that for a product market fit purpose rather than for a pitch deck. On professional networking, we have Slavik and Alex Sedivia who are coming in, and Wayana did the Belle Isle extension and the guest extended in Lewis's block. Okay, those are the notes from the.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. And a little bit of a reminder for Lilith on B7. Is it possible to set a due date for it to determine whether it works or not and make it into an operational stuff as opposed to initiative, or we cannot determine it yet?
Yes, we can determine it, but I will see and give time on that.
Okay. No worries. Thank you very much, Lilith. Okay, I think that's it. Sorry for the overtime, as RM always do, and this I think we should change that. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming to this scrum. And yeah, see you guys
Yeah,
in
see you
happy hour.
guys.
See you
Thank
guys.
you.
Okay, all right, Isha, Vivia, that's it for the shadowing. You guys are free to, kind of hang out, do whatever you want now. The work day is done. There is a discussion later this evening about revenue management. If you're not too keen on that, then don't worry about it. But yeah, that's it. Okay, have a great day, ladies, and I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys at the next intersection point. Okay, so your shadowing with me is done now. All right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Jing.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay. Have a great day. Bye.
Have a good day too.